I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. And we're back this morning with some more Lost Caverns of Ixalan spoilers. Starting off with Careening Minecart. 3 mana for a 3/3 vehicle. Whenever it attacks, you create a treasure token and you can accrue it for 1. So definitely a useful little thing to have, especially in your treasure decks. Next up we have Skullcap Snail. This is a fun little card. For a black and 1, you get a 1/1 fungus snail. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent exiles a card from their hand. Now that goes very well with that Bat Exile theme that we saw yesterday. So, hoo-ha. Next up we have Gold Fury Strider. So this is a red and 4 for a 3/5 artifact creature golem. It has trample. You can tap 2 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control. Target creature gets +2/+0 till end of turn, activate only as a sorcery. So it's a little bit of a pumpable. You tap 2 creatures, you get a +2/+0. It's target creature, so it doesn't necessarily have to be itself. But, to do it on itself, you get a 5/5 trample creature. So not overpowered, but it definitely it's a good card. Next up we have Explorer's Cache. Green and 1 for an artifact that enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Explorer's Cache. And tap it to move a +1/+1 counter from Explorer's Cache onto target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. So this is kind of like the new Ozolith, but not quite as OP as the Ozoliths are. But combined with Ozolith, this thing could have some definite use in a +1/+1 counter deck. Next we have that's Zalanti, the Great Door. It's a 3 mana for a legendary artifact. Tap it to draw cards and discard a card. Or pay 4, tap it, transform Zalanti, the Great Door, activate only if there are 4 more permanent cards in your graveyard. Okay. It's another part of that graveyard love. So it transforms into the core. A legendary land. Got Fathomless Descent, so add X mana of any one color where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. So your graveyard love deck definitely wants this. Then we have Sunbird Standard. 3 mana for an artifact with a mana rock. You tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Craft with 1 or more and 5 mana, and you flip it. So you flip it into Sunbird Effigy, which is an XX artifact creature bird construct. It has flying, vigilance, and haste. Power and toughness are each equal to the number of colors among exile cards you use to craft it. Tap for each color among the exile cards used to craft Sunbird Effigy. Add 1 mana of that color. Ooh, 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 dirty. This is a fun card to have in your multicolor deck. Like your your Omnath deck, Omnath Focus of All, your stuff that's got lots of colors in it. And you can do it with one or more. So this is Tarian's Journal. Another flippy card for black and 1. Sacrifice another artifact or creature, draw a card, activate only as a sorcery. Well, that sacrifice deck does well with it. Or pay 2, discard your hand, transform Tarian's Journal. Becomes Tomb of Alcalazoth. Oh, that's the bat god. Tap to add a black mana. You cast a creature spell from your graveyard this turn. If you do, it interferes with the battlefield with a finality counter on it, and there's a vampire. Whoa, oh, that's dirty as frack. Oh, that's dirty. Yeah, sure. It's like a last chance, and he enters the battlefield with a finality counter. But it's a vampire issue, so there's a lot of vampire love because it's Ixalan. Ixalan is like vampires, merfolk, pirates, and dinosaurs. So I don't know what this is going to be called, but this is an interesting card. It's a green and 2 for a 6/6 dinosaur. Whenever it attacks, if you don't control another dinosaur, put a stun counter on it. So you got to be kind of careful, people getting rid of your dinosaurs. But 6/6 for 3, that's a lot. This is Direfleet Flail. This is an interesting thing. Single red mana for an artifact equipment. It's a rare. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and you equip it for 1. And you craft with 1 or more maybe for 2 red and 3. It flips over into Direfleet Cannon. It's an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 whenever this creature attacks. May sacrifice another artifact. When you do, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Ow! That's gonna hurt. Then we have Master's Mural. It's a white and blue and 3 for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 Golem artifact creature token. And you can pay 2 white and a blue and 4. That's a bit of a beefy cost to craft that with an artifact. And the flip side, you can just tap it to create a 4/4 Golem artifact. Can only be activated when that or another artifact enters the battlefield this turn. So definitely crazy artifact that just pumps out golems. This is Sunken Citadel. Now, I can read enough to know that this is a cavern land. So it's a cave land. Enters the battlefield tapped. As it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Tap it to add 1 mana of the chosen color, or tap it to add 2 mana of the chosen color. It can only be spent for activated abilities of a land source. So, like for your man lands and stuff like that. This is kind of a useful thing. It's another cave land. Very, very interesting. Terror Tide. 2 black and 2. All creatures get -X till end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Well, if you're playing a graveyard love deck, ooh, that's 4 mana for a board wipe. That's useful. This is Palani's Hatcher, a red, a green, and 3 for a 5/3 dino with other dinos you control have haste. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 0/1 green dinosaur egg creature tokens. In combat in your turn, if you control 1 or more eggs, sacrifice an egg, then create a 3/3 dinosaur creature token. This would be supremely useful in that that dino that had that cost green and 2. Okay, we have Poetic Ingenuity. So a red and 2 for an enchantment that reads, whenever 1 or more dinosaurs you control attack, create an equal number of treasure tokens. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token. That ability only triggers once a turn. Oh, that sounds fun. The Wandering Throne. 4 mana for a 4/4 appears to be an artifact creature construct. It has Ward 2. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. It's the chosen type in addition to its other types. The triggered ability of another creature of the chosen type you control it triggers an additional time. Oh, tribal. Hoo-ha. Oh, some tribal love there. Oh, that's dirty. Next up, we have Daring Destructionist. White and 1 for a I can't even begin to think about what that creature type is, but it's a 1/4, probably human artificer. Artifacts under your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped, or and you can pay a white and 2x. Daring Destructionist. Destroy each artifact with mana value X. So it's a little expensive, but you're gonna Yeah, artifact board wipe. Hoo-ha. Hermit Nautilus. So a blue and 1 for 1/4 artifact creature Nautilus. It has vigilance, and you can pay a blue and 1, and it gets +3, -3 till end of turn. So it becomes a 4/1. Interesting little like snail, whatever. This is Underworld Blood Hunter. So it's 2 black and 4 for a 6/6. I don't know if it's a horror or a demon, but probably a horror. Underworld Blood Hunter enters the battlefield. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Oh, that's just icky. We have Staunch Crewmate, a blue and 1 for 2/1 human pirate. Enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal an artifact or pirate card from among them, put it into your hand, the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, artifacts and pirate love. I'll definitely go for that any day of the week. Okay, we have Soul Coil Viper. So it's a black and 2 for a 2/3 serpent that has pay a black, tap it, and sacrifice it. Return target creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Okay, so it's 2/3 for 3, which isn't bad. And then it has an ability to bring back a creature. Now, I had heard about this, whispers about this card, and Stalactite Stalker, a black mana for a 1/1 Goblin Rogue with Menace. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Stalactite Stalker. Pay a black and 2, sacrifice Stalactite Stalker, target creature with -X/-X till end of turn, where X is Stalactite Stalker's power. So if you're putting permanents into the graveyard, this thing gets big, and then you can use it as a spot removal on a body. Not bad. Next up, we have some commander cards. So we got the Wedding Ring, which is probably the one of the best cards out of Crimson Vow. So it's 2 white and 2 for an artifact that reads, when Wedding enters the battlefield, if it was cast, target opponent creates a token that's a copy of it. Whenever opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring draws a card during their turn, you draw a card. Whenever opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring gains life during their turn, you gain that much life. So this thing is incredibly useful. Commander Raid, I would imagine, would really love this thing. And I know it's a reprint. Saying this is Master Set, but this is definitely a useful card, and it's in the Commander decks. Then we have Colossus Hammer. So 1 mana for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying, but you equip it for 8. But there are definitely cards out there that reduce the equip cost and everything. So Colossus Hammer is a fun card to get. And Whisper Silk Cloak, which is an entirely useful artifact. 3 mana for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature can't be blocked and has Shroud. Equipped for 2. And we have get these last 3 in, and we're gonna call it a day, at least for now. This is Pit of Offering. Yeah, it's cave land. It enters the battlefield tapped, like most cave lands do. When it enters the battlefield, exile 3 target cards from graveyard. Tap it to add a colorless, or tap it to add 1 mana of any color among the exiled cards. So, again, if you're playing against people that are that have multicolor stuff going on, and you can add colors from that mana. So then we have Captain Tempest. He's a blue and a red for a 2/2 legendary human pirate. When an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target pirate you control. So more pirates and artifact love. And this last card, this card is crazy. Amalia Benavides Aguirre. So white and a black for a 2/2 vampire scout. It has ward, pay 3 life. Good luck trying to get rid of her. Whenever you gain life, she explores. Then destroy all creatures. If her power is exactly 20. Yeah, she sticks around long enough. She's going to mess things up, but not quite a game ender, but it's certainly got some useful things to it. Don't know if anybody can actually get that up to 20. So that's going to be it for now. I'm not going to hit the refresh button because I'm over 23 minutes as it is. So we're going to see you on the next video.